YouTube, welcome to Feedback Friday number, I don't know how many it's been now, we've done a lot. This is where, you know what this is, I don't know, like, other YouTubers are good at really committing to just doing the intro every time. I'm not. I can't say the same thing that many times over and over and over again. Except for, catch you guys next time. I seem pretty good at saying that every time, that's the only one. And it doesn't even make sense because I always say it twice. I say it, then we do the credits, and then I say it again. Anyway, this isn't a very good intro, is it? Anyway, this is Feedback Friday. We play games made by you. If you want to take part, you come to a stream on a Friday, usually about 1 o'clock UK time-ish. Now it's 2 o'clock because I'm late because I've got a lot going on. But you come into my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SeanJS, and you come into the chat, and then I say, oh, I'm only going to take in like 6 games this week, and then I open gates, and you submit like 9 before Sean can even react and close it down, and then Sean is committed to playing 9 games. So we're going to get started. We take games of any skill level. Various points of development, the only real conditions being that it has to be like made by you. That was a terrible good circle there, Sean. It has to be made by you, or if you're part of the team you have permission. I said freely accessible is kind of a misnomer. What I mean by this is just that you're not going to charge me to play your game on the stream, you know. Don't send me a link to your Steam page and be like, okay, play my game please, it costs £20, you know. Don't do that. I'm playable on PC because I can't with a phone. It's just not going to work, right? I'm streaming. I want to stream the game. Okay, today we are starting off with a game called Clockmaker from Narbis Simplex 2. It's on Londari, so I will continue to rate it as a Londari game, as we do with all the things. And I felt like this sentence was going somewhere else, and I've forgotten where it's going, so let's just look at this game. Clockmaker is a puzzle game where time is constantly looping. Using your magic stopwatch, you can record a series of actions to be performed by one of your time puppets, a spectral version of yourself that acts as you do. Every loop, the actions you've recorded are carried out by your puppets, and you must work together with them to solve puzzles and climb the clock tower. So this sounds quite a lot like that other game we played, right? By a person whose name I can't remember now, who was working on the guy who made 2D and Top D had a game like this where you you get a little platformer guy and they go off and do a thing and you record their actions, right? So it'll be interesting to see another take on this. Where do I get this? Here's where I get this. We download it and we put it in our ever-growing folder for viewer games. Oh man, Disc Room's out. And this will apparently open in the background, preventing me from extracting it. Anyway, who made this game again? Narbis Simplex 2. It was just funny to me that the second entry that went in the moment I opened it had this giant paragraph of text that clearly was just ready to go. Alright, let's also turn off the chill hop music. Man, today's this is a messy episode. But you know what? We're doing it live. So, Clockmaker. What is this? We got menu, we got start, we got equip, and we got a lot of space. It's a lot of space. Just a weird composition. You know, if this was gonna be all there was on the screen, maybe you just could have gone here. I guess you kind of want to show. It's a cool background though. I like this. This art's kind of nice. Weird little stray pixel over here, just being slightly brighter than all the others. Just just, you know, being a rebel. All the other pixels just like, we're gonna be this color, and then this guy's like, you know what, no, I'm gonna stand out from the crowd. I like the little brick pattern as well, though, just like leaving some empty space in it and stuff. It's nice. Anyway, space is apparently the key I needed to press. Replace the gears to open sealed doors. Press down to pick up and set down gears. On this guy. Little squashy stretchiness. What's that? Is variable jump height really going to be important to this game? It's a thing. Replace the gears to open sealed doors. Carrying a gear. Oh, it looks cute carrying the gear. And stage to jump. That is the first time I would need to know that. Throw a gear, pick it up and press up. Throw while moving or jumping to throw further. Oh. All gears are reset when it's like noon, okay. I get that it's thematic, but that feels a little bit of an uncomfortable thing to have on a timer. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I did it! Oh no, it gets reset. Pick up the pendulum to gain the ability to create time puppets. Is that what this is? Or let the clock strike noon, okay. Well, I'm just gonna hold on here. I like the animation of it. Committed to keeping it a resolution, which is nice. But the problem with that is it does make rotations look pretty uggo. Like, yeah. It's a tough one. It's a tricky one to solve without like then doing like every angle manually. Probably looks better in this instance though than actually making it higher resolution. Okay, so you're just gonna do that every time now then, right? Oh, I can jump on his head. Cool. Backspace to reset the room. Well, I thought. Oh, if I get personally stuck, right? Oh. Oh, it's weird because then I'm still here. Okay. Oh no! How do I? Oh no! Well, that's how I get stuck, I guess. But actually, no, this is probably fine because now I can just wait for him to like step on that briefly. Oh no! Now I get killed. I don't know. I also don't have the cock anymore. Okay. So it's more like I wanted to go. Ah. Ah. God! God, you dang it! Like this little lean downy thing when you press down. Okay. It's kind of disorientating. Like, what does the one key do here? It like resets and makes you start recording again, but then if I press it again, then it commits to it, and then I'm back in this. Like, it does. It's somewhat context sensitive. And which makes it a little tricky to get your head around. And the fact that it's also like constantly going, it's a bit of like a headache. Because I've got to time this with like having the thing and also... Oh, I thought it... No, I had to move the other way. Alright. Backspace does that, and that does this. Walk over to there. Then over to here. And just hang out there. And let's just wait it out. No, we can't wait it out. We've got to be ready to pick up this cock. Okay. Oh, but then I gotta get back out. I don't think my brain is ready for this game. Wait, can he pick the thing up? Oh, he can. Oh, maybe that's a better way to do it. Just hold left. Oh, that's way easier. Way easier. Right, yeah, so you can kind of just dump a thing there by just recording it and just... Also pressing record, like, sends the cogs back. Just lots of little weird rules within rules, and it's just a little bit hard to follow it all. Like this game could have worked as just like press a button to record an action, press the button to stop recording the action, and then it plays out, right? Or just press a button to like kill yourself and respawn, and then whatever you did in the last thing gets repeated or something like that, right? A simple thing that just works on one rule carrying itself out. Like, this is like a combination of those mechanics, but then also like a spinning clock because stuck in a loop, and it needs to be, because that's the theme, and it feels a bit like forced together, right? Okay. Oh yeah, we can throw things as well. Feels very close to being reachable. Probably not the... Oh, did that just stay open now, though? Oh, no, it's closed! Oh, no, it's the button. The button needs to be stood on. Here's what I'm gonna do. Oh, he can't go through the door though, can he? That's all I need to do is like, kind of like that. Oh, Christ. Because it hurts me on time if I'm not already up there for it. Okay. Right. I think we get the idea anyway. It's cool. I really like the artwork and stuff in it a lot. I think it's good. It's consistent, nice consistent theme about it. It's well constructed, well put together. Puzzle games like that are tricky. You kind of need to find your central premise. It's like you had the idea of it all being built around like a loop of this clock, but then all the mechanics feel like things that would be better if they had nothing to do with that clock, right? There's no reason for the clock. It doesn't really add anything other than a weird time pressure that exists differently based on when you came up with your idea to do the thing. And like in the best case scenario involves like a bit of waiting around, right? It doesn't really add much. It's like, it constrains the length of time that you can do a record, but you could do that anyway. You know, there's nothing that it adds or does that couldn't be done better with something simpler, easier to understand, easier to not screw up on the for the player, right? I like the concept, you know, recording things and trying to work out what in a timeline to do what or whatever. It's quite heavily explored concept. It's been done a lot of ways, so I appreciate the attempt to do it in a kind of a unique way, and also appreciate the need to make the theme of Ludum Dare fit into the work. But I feel like that in itself, the clock thing, was the biggest weakness of that game overall. I really liked it. I had to stop myself, just keep playing more and more, but it did hurt my brain a little bit. Which isn't always a bad thing. I like your consistent palette as well. You know, the golds and the purples are really nice. It was clear as well, like like the tutorial and stuff was good and clear. It's just the concept itself was awkward and difficult to understand. You know, I don't think it's a problem with the tutorializing. I think the tutorialing was good. It's like this actually, reminds me a bit of another perspective in quite a few ways. I fundamentally made a game a bit like this, although instead of carrying out other time things, it was different. No, it's good, and it's difficult to create things with like level-based puzzles and come up with lots of interesting ideas for a game jam as well. So well done on that front. Let me log in. We'll give you a rate redo. It looks really nice. Honestly, the theme, like, I like the attempt at it. I just think Conceptually, it's not bad. Just mechanically, I don't think it adds up, and I don't think it combined together in an interesting way. And I think it was really the thing that held the game back the most. Um, so innovation is like, yes, it is innovative, but not necessarily in a good way. It's a combination of a lot of things that have been done in the past, put together in ways that didn't really mix. Like, yeah, like the other game we played a bit like this, like it had a thing on a particular loop of time, but the rule was simple and clear, and it's just like, okay, this loop of time is happening, and whatever you do in this loop of time will be carried out again on the next loop by a clone, right? And that was the whole rule, and it would just build up over time. You'd end up with like a million clones and so on, and that was the whole game idea. Um, because that's just simple. There's no like pressing buttons that go back and undoing when you're stuck in. It's just too much going on, which makes it difficult to break down otherwise quite simple, like intentionally simple environments, right? Sounds so nice. Humor, no rating. But I did enjoy it though. I did enjoy it. I just think it was really held back by its adherence to the theme, really. Yeah, those scores are how I feel. I'm trying to remember to actually write comments on these. This was cool. Thanks for submitting to the stream. Yeah. I think that's what I'm gonna put in all my comments, and then hopefully, like people, when we do this in future for future Legendaries, I'll try and do this every time. And then it's like, oh, if people heart the comment, and then it's like, because I've given loads of constructive feedback, but I've given it in stream format, you know. So it's ignored. I'm pretty sure, Joel. It just counts as though I haven't given it. Like it'll count as me having give like 0.9 of a rating to the game, like in counting my ratings and so on. So like yeah, if you click the X to like not rate a thing, it sets it to 0 because there's no other way to click 0 on here, right? The lowest rating you can't even give something half. The lowest you can give is 1. You can't give 0.5. Yeah, it feels like you're trying to do two things, or a thing that you probably like assume that like they're connected, but they're actually like two kind of different types of game that don't really mix entirely. I think that's the root of the problem I was having with it. Why it just gets a bit confusing. I think the key is to pick one. Either you care about this looping thing and being on a timeline, in which case you need to make it all about that and simplify down and remove the amount of control you have over it, so it is all just about watching that go round. Um, or get rid of the clock entirely and focus on your clone mechanics and stuff that go like that. So already live for 50 minutes. I know 30 of that was messing around with the thing, but we're not doing well for getting through these quickly, are we? Oh well. Um, just gonna check on that video, make sure it has actually like gone out. I just always panic when I put a video live, but I don't know. Here's 119, comments 5, cool.
This video is going to allow you to...
Cool. Alright. Now, I'm gonna BRB very briefly, and then we will move on to Death is in the Air by Banholio. We'll just get it up. Okay, I'll BRB like 2 seconds. Wrong thing. Stolen one of Emma's Coke cans. Nobody tell her. She might actually break up with me. I'll buy more, it's fine. Death is in the... Death is in the air. Game from Banholio. I decided to make a small update in principle. I haven't made... I mean, I haven't made improvements. Bit of balancing. Balancing is quite strictly an improvement. I would say. I would love to spend like 10 hours after my jam balancing my game. Well, that's part of it, man. You can't... yeah. But you know what, I don't mind. We'll play your latest one. I feel for the struggle. We'll put it in a good light. Unreal shooter inspired in Star Fox and like created for Jam Candy. Oh yeah. Feel for that struggle as well. You're trapped in a loop with enemies. You must survive as long as possible. Keep killing enemies and your ship will improve. How long can you last? WASD to move, mouse to aim, left click to shoot. Run game. It's pretty, it's a slow start. Well, maybe it'll pick up. Looks like we will be downloading 1.0 after all. Run game. Run game. Run game. Download. It happens. It might just be my browser, to be fair. Made with Unity. That's in the air. Oh, it's so small. Look, it's so small. By Banholio. By Banholio for LD47. It's a weird composition in general, right? Cool shot of just stuff. I don't really know what it all is, but it's a nice arrangement of things and lines, and then just like, where should I put the title? Yeah, just here. Just like right here. This is it. This is the spot. Death is in the air. Center paragraph over 3 lines as well. Over 3 lines. What made you put it here? And then like oh, we need to tell the player how to start the game, right? We need to tell them click the start. That makes sense. Where should we put that? Here. This right here. And then you know what? People need to know who made the game, but I don't want to show off. You know, I don't want to be I don't want to be arrogant about it. I don't want to make my name like huge or anything. So we'll just put it somewhere nice and subtle. We'll just put it down here. It's made by Banholio. Follow me on Twitter at Banholio for LD47. It's just, I love it. I love the great title screen. Right, click to start. WASD, I believe, space or something. Oh, left click was shoot. I think space did something. I can't remember what now. Oh, I'm aiming with the mouse. Oh gosh, this is quite hard. I thought that noise was me shooting, but is it music? Is it them shooting? It's quite a beat. Ow. That's quite the sound effect. Just gonna turn that down a little bit. Yeah, no testing. Yeah, I get that. I figured that occurred to me when I saw this, and I was just like, oh right, okay, so it's probably a resolution thing, where like the image is stretched to the full screen, and then the title would be bigger on a smaller resolution, right? Still weirdly positioned. Like it doesn't, you don't. Still oddly, it's all oddly sized and positioned, even so. But that does explain it a little bit. Well, my score's still going up. So, you know, guess this is the optimal strat, right? Is to just die. 900, 910, 920, 930. Cruising. And then every 1,000 points we heal? That's an interesting one. It's a common thing to like get score and get extra lives. Score to heal, I guess, is like a similar concept. Never really seen it done that way though. Okay. That wall comes up super late. If I actually wanted to dodge it. Can anything actually die? I've not actually seen myself kill anything yet. Okay, it is possible to dodge those. Okay, I got one. Okay, my health is pretty low though. So I think your score is just ticking up over time rather than based on distance, right? And that's just why it like kept going. F. I mean, not quite the same as the last game, but in a similar way, it's not that there are too many bullets, necessarily. It's that you kind of want to pick a lane. Is this about avoiding things? Or is it about shooting things? It can be about both. But you kind of then need to split it into like clear opportunities for you to do each, or make it like a, you know, possible thing to focus on both. I can't look at two places at once. Like, that's not a thing human eyes are able to do. And so, like, maybe if I were just auto-aiming to shoot things, and I could focus my eyes on dodging or something like that. And also the nature of it being so very honestly 3D, makes it hard for my feeble depth perception to work out when I'm going to be hit by something, and when I'm going to hit something. It's kind of cool that you've managed to, like, ray trace into the scene to find, like, an accurate angle to shoot at to hit these things, though. Like, I can literally just click on the thing to shoot it pretty accurately. Are people with lazy eyes like actually able to see two things at once though, and process information from two visual images and focus on those two things independently? Or is their brain still only really capable of processing a single image? I don't know, maybe they do. But either way, if the game relies upon having that, I would call that a pretty severe accessibility issue. You must be double jointed to play this game. feel like I'm doing better now, although I'm not sure how or why. Is this going in a loop? I suppose that would make sense, right? I like the track, like the little 3D models and stuff are cool. It's a consistent style. Like, I like that you've not bothered to, like, texture anything. Like, it's, like... Cel-shaded's not the word, is it? You know what I mean. Like, it's all, like, flat materials, but you've got, like, some gradients and stuff in there as well. Although, to be fair, if anything, even though the gradients look really nice, they're probably the most inconsistent thing with the rest of the style. The lighting is a bit weird. I feel like I'm doing anything different, but I feel like I'm doing better. Maybe I just, yeah, I don't know, I'm healing now and again? Is that, oh, does the pink wall heal me or something? I didn't get to the heal score. I don't think I did anyway, maybe I did. No, okay, yeah, that definitely doesn't heal you. Your sound effects are a bit rubbish. Oh, I'm shooting faster now, right. Alright, yeah, because you said the longer you survive, the better you get at killing things. That's a weird one. The longer you survive, the longer you're able to survive because you're suddenly stronger. It's a weird way to scale it. The problem with this aiming mechanic for the moving targets is that you don't want to aim at moving targets, you want to like lead them, right? But the way your aiming works is to click directly on the thing, so if I click past the thing, I'm not actually aiming in the same way anymore, I'm like aiming at like the thing past it. Because it's aiming at whatever like the target like traces to in the 3D scene. So it's not actually, it's a bit difficult to lead moving targets. I mean, it's sort of okay because they don't move super fast, so you can kind of get away with aiming directly at them to some degree, but then you get situations like that where you can't, and you're only going to hit them when you get really close. Oh, that's firing fast. I've played this for too long again, haven't I? I keep playing these games for too long. I think we got the idea a long time ago. Okay. Yeah, I think despite it's quite cool the aiming thing, but I think it hurts you for when you're aiming at moving targets. The whole 3D like manual aiming, there's a bit of a depth perception issue with the whole concept, right, of it being so honestly like 3D. I like the consistency with the art style. It's not the prettiest game in the world, but it is consistent, and I always give that points. Your sound effects are rubbish. I'd have honestly preferred it without them. Like it's not a good sound for shooting. It's just not. Is this what that screen was meant to look like? Alright, so you like framed it like that. Still like off center and weird, but alright, I see. Honestly, there's someone bringing up this because they'd remembered it from the description, and reading it in the description was what kind of informed me about how it works. Otherwise, it wasn't really clear that I was gaining attack speed and stuff over time. You'll have noticed I just said, oh, I seem to be doing better now, and I don't really know why. And it's because, like, you know, there was nothing that came up on screen like level up or like you just gained some attack speed or something like that. It's kind of important for letting players know that things like that are happening and are relevant and important, so they understand the rules of your game and how everything works. Yeah, it's all right. Needs more more feedback and stuff generally. But I also just think the idea is a tricky one, and it's a difficult one to like get aiming and stuff right in because it's 3D with a weird perspective and aiming at things and depth perception, and it's the same for dodging and stuff like that. Those are difficult problems to solve, and I don't have all the answers for you, but I'm sure they are solvable. Just difficult. A lot of games with this sort of thing tend to go for very neon looks, right? You know, you not Beat Hazard. Is Beat Hazard the one? No. Audio Surf and that kind of thing. That are like neon tracks of very tronny. I think that maybe helps them a little bit because everything is like either pitch black or like really bright if it's important, and maybe that helps with like the visual perception of things. I'm not sure. Sound one. Graphics, they're alright. They were consistent enough. I quite like the style, honestly. The only issue with this is kind of dull and flat. I think it needs like some fancy lighting and stuff to make it really work, or really like a really well chosen palette. I think you can make the style look quite nice, but it's tricky. But I appreciate like sticking with and not going for like texturing anything or anything like that, and just keeping to one like just flat shaded style. It was addictive enough to just fly around and shoot things. But it was just a bit. There wasn't much to it. It was tough to work, tough to aim at stuff, and wasn't really satisfying to like actually blow things up. Things had a lot of health. Wasn't clear when you were hitting them entirely, and so on. I think it's quite creative. I mean, yes, you are stuck in a loop. Humor, not really. No rating. Mood, I never really know how to rate mood. Overall, feeling nice, we give it a 3, I think. It's good. Thanks for submitting to the stream. I think as long as I put that comment, I hope it's clear that, like, because I know they monitor in case people try and abuse the whole coolness thing. I hope it's clear if they read that, like, oh, he was doing a stream and was giving the criticism there, right? But I don't think I'm just leaving that comment on every game and trying to do some sort of abusive thing. I think you can opt out of humor, can't you? Can you? I don't know. You can opt out of a few things. You can opt out of audio and graphics. Maybe you can't opt out of humor. Sure, you could. Not actually sure. Can I find out? No, those options aren't there anymore. Feel free to play my thing if anyone hasn't already. The Infinite Arc. You can go tell me how rubbish it is. It's got all 23 ratings. It's got the 20 ratings I need, but I'll happily take more. It's quite a fun one. It was quite a fun one to make, this one. It was good. Stressful, but good. Thanks for that one, Ban Julio. What did that take, like 20 minutes? Endfall. Have I heard of this? It's From It's a Trash Ken. It's pretty. Boy be cold. There's a big cat in it. What more do you need to know? Oh, this looks cool. I always get distracted by some thumbnail on itch.io. They all look great. Never find time to play them. There's a trailer? Who cares? This isn't trailer back Friday. That wouldn't even make sense. This isn't trailer feedback Friday. I mean, it's not game feedback Friday. It's just feedback Friday, I guess. Maybe the name needs to be more specific. But you get my point. We're not here to watch your trailers. We're here to watch... We're here to play the game. There's no time for trailers. Unless I arbitrarily decide that there is. In which case there is. But right now, there is not. Trailer Tuesday. I am bad at it. Like, I never spot it. I know, like, someone said, like, I was calling this what? I don't even know what I was calling it before. Like, game submission feedback stream that is done on Friday. Or something. And then someone was talking like, oh yeah, I saw this game played on one of Sean's Feedback Fridays. And I'm like, well, that's a good name. How did I not come up with that? And now it is. Now that's what it's called. What do we think? Pad or ADHJK? I do like HJK. Those are the guys speaking to my childhood here. Those were my buttons. That was my Jazz Jackrabbit side of the keyboard when I played against my brother, and he would be on like the arrow key and on the player 1 side of the keyboard, and I would be on the Waz HJ side of the keyboard. Ask or select. Ask. Whose game is this? It's a Trash Ken. Also known as Kenneth something. Ooh, I didn't even... Should have stayed on that screen for longer. It was like stars rotating in like a cylinder. That was a cool look. That awesome myth. I even think if a kid really liked a myth, he probably wouldn't call it a myth. He'd like to pretend it was like real. You told me the awesome story again or whatever, right? When a person dies, they reincarnate as strange creatures that live on a giant place. A bit distracted by this massive hold space to skip that's like larger than the text is. These creatures wait until a special day. The day when their lives will be decided. They can perish forever. Like, I want a button to speed it up maybe, but not skip it. I'll live in eternal peace. What was the name of the place? What was the name? Oh, right, that was... Okay. It's hard to tell who's talking. Pretty. Donk. That feels like it needs more frames. Like that eye closing in. Which I know is like expensive, right, to keep doing like a million like hand of those that's like clogging up texture page. Maybe do something dynamic there would be good, like to animate a circle or something coming down or a mask or something like that, because I think that could really benefit from being a bit smoother than that was. like the effect is nice. Like the storyboarding and composition of it, like it's nice. It's very well done. Okay. Turning on. Yeah, some of these effects in general are a bit like... low FPS-y. I mean, I can't talk with my webcam today being like 2 FPS for some reason. Why do I want to go to M4? Oh. I don't like that this is progressing by itself. I want to be able to talk about it. No, I've just got to read it. There's like a pressure to read it. You want to progress this by text box, not like as a cutscene that I can hold a thing to skip with a really distracting, flashy thing. Because I've not caught half of this text and it's probably important. Which isn't necessarily what will happen to anyone else playing the game, but especially me in my situation where I'm wanting to talk about the game and also... Oh, hey, it's the good old classic 2 scrolling grids in the background. You too, huh? It's a good look. I like 2 scrolling grids. Oh, and then there's the other classic. It's just scrolling, like old colored squares. Music is nice. I need to turn her up on. See change now. Man, this is probably going to be a lot longer than I'm going to have time to play much of, isn't it? Interesting that you bothered confirming the gender, actually. Well... yeah, make either of those 2 jokes again and never come back here. Altsy Cave Dens, like... grow up. I'm not having the one joke about trans people that cis people like to make in my chat. Sorry. Well, the only point I was making there with gender is like, typically a fun thing you could do with a character whose gender is sort of like ambiguous is just never bring it up, and that's just a fun thing, because then people can just impart whatever they like on it. You just pick less terrible memes. Oh, it says up! Oh, yeah. So yeah, that whole sequence, and again, look, you don't want to do text boxes like this that are automatically progressing. You want to make it so I have to press a button to progress them. I get it can be tricky when you've got an animated scene playing and it's like going to a specific time and you're just like, well, I can't... You know, the cutscene's gonna end, so like they can't just have the text thing on the screen forever, and sometimes you have to do it. But like in that situation, you could have probably just had that thing scroll pretty much forever and so on. I mean, I say it wasn't like a criticism, really. It's just like interesting that you bothered confirming it. It's like you didn't have to, you know. But it's not wrong to do that either. It's not wrong to say the character was a guy, or like that was not a criticism I was making by any means. It's just like, oh, here's a thing you could also do. Just because it just looked kind of ambiguous, you know. F. What's the death like? Interesting. It's kind of it's kind of cute how that's like the first opportunity you have to die, and it is right next to the save thing. So it's like, oh, if I die, come back with the save thing. I see. Yeah, his backgrounds are super nice. The art here is redonk. Shoutouts to this character. See, now I have control over the pace of the text. It's much easier to read it and digest it. This is interesting. Just looking at this like rotated thing. It's very brave to just rotate your pixel art like this. Looks like you've done like a little bit of clean, or maybe you just rotated it just enough that it didn't break everything. I can see bits of it that are broken though, and probably need manually cleaning up, which you probably are very aware of. But very brave, very, very brave. Works though, I think. Yeah, it's like you probably need to actually go in and clean it up, but like jump and press L. Pressing L isn't doing anything. I was trying it out before I commit. Ah, right, okay. Maybe that needed to come up. I don't know, that's maybe just me being stupid. Interesting. Look at how it like gets thinner like that. It's a little strange. Oh, wait, how do I? Alright, you jump to like, alright. Bit of a leap of faith there. How much air control? The control is a little bit weird. Like low acceleration, high max speed kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Something in the air control is just a little strange. Boing. Okay. Huh. Yeah. I guess the really high gravity as well, it gets me a bit. Well, not the high gravity itself, but like the high terminal velocity, maybe? Maybe it has no limit? Yeah. Hmm. I think the accelerate. I don't know that I'm right, but it feels a bit like the acceleration, your left and right acceleration, like in the air especially, is like too low. So like it starts moving really slow, like it goes like I don't know. It's like almost too eased, like. And like that slide there, like, was way too fast. Like, I think your max speeds are really are too high, and the acceleration is too slow. So it just feels like the speed goes from like really slow to really, really fast. Rather than feeling a bit more consistent. This is a weird bit of level design. Like, that looks like it's a wall jumpy wall, but there's like no way to actually really make use of it in any way. Like, it doesn't go anywhere. Like, I can't really get back till there, can I? Not with the current skill set I have anyway. L is a weird button. Is there a reason to not just use H or whatever? A little effect when you hit the ground's nice. Yeah, I think it's just the numbers are a bit weird. On the ground feels okay. The air just feels weirdly just slidey. God damn it, I keep thinking it'll be a closer button than it is. That's just me being stupid. Ah. Does that slow me down sliding, but only if I'm holding towards... No. So sometimes that feels like the wall is slowing me down, but it actively doesn't. I can tell just when I hit that, it just like... You just whiz down it. Very typical thing with that to like just slow the player's descent when they're like sliding down a wall they can wall jump off. Very good. Which way do I want to go, actually? I don't want to play it too much longer. Let's see what's over here. I like that, that's cool. Cookie? Ah. Yeah, there's a little bit too many, like, leap of faithy moments. The level design is a bit weird. Like, that route, this route exists. Oh, I can't zoom in because it's full screen, but, like, this route existing at all is a... It's, like, cool, it's like, oh, a little faster route. It's, like, not universally a bad thing, but it all feels a bit broken up, you know? There's a few too many, like, cheese holes in it. If that sounds like a weird metaphor, I'll try and explain what that means a little bit afterwards. That's a bit ambiguous height as well. Like, it's like, that's like, is that actually gonna kill me because my hair can be in it? Yeah. Man. Some of these just jump distances and things are just like a little bit awkward. Which is probably not helping people in terms of how they feel about the controls. I think it's a two-pronged issue. I do like that that's a thing, but I just wish it was... Even though I love that animation, it's just like, it's a bit of a very subtle change, right? Yeah, so that's like, I know you can drop through there, but there's no way to like look down or know that that's going to be a thing. Those jumpy spots are a little tough to spot until the little, like, button overlay comes up over it as well. They kind of just look like a bit of the background. Especially when you're not really sure, like, is this the bottom of the level? Is this going to kill me? Or is there going to be more down there, you know? Might be a bit of an issue of, like, your camera always just being where the player is and not, like, focusing on the relevant areas for your level design and so on. That can be tricky sometimes. That's cool. I wonder if that's done the same way my water thing was, or in a way that's similar. Again, like, total leap of faith of just like, ah! So, like, yeah, that can help. Was I meant to use the wall? Yeah, see, things like that, it's just like, that was a really uncomfortable arc, right? Of, like, just making it over there. And also, like, I mean, I know I'm only in the demo, but, like, until you really know how to use the level design with it, I think people should generally avoid doing variable jump heights. This is the kind of game that would suit it if the level design was there for it. It's not been so far. But, like, just set me to a fixed jump. If you've got so many other things going on in your game, unless it really is about all the jumping. I get that this kind of is. But, like, every time I've done a jump in this game so far, I've wanted a max distance jump. And it feels a bit like with this level design, you jump like, it almost feels like this level design was designed for jump distances that are just a tiny bit further than what you actually have. Like, everything is just like, I just made it. It's tricky. Anyway, right, before we get any further in, I think we get the general gist. First of all, it's obviously beautiful, like, artistically. I think there's no arguing with it there. Like, 11 out of 10, nice graphics, looks very pretty. The problem for me is kind of twofold. Yes, the controls feel a little weird, but I don't know how much of that is actually in the controls, because when I just sit and play around with it, feels sort of alright. The gravity and falling really fast is the thing that sticks out, but for the most part, the controls feel alright. And I think your level design might be the bigger problem. I feel like every jump you try and do is just like a little bit too far to be satisfying. Like, everything's like just on the edge. Feels a bit like you've got, you know, like this situation where, like, one would expect like this sort of thing to happen, and in your game it feels a bit like You get this. This, and then I don't know. I'm not explaining this very well. Or like that bit at the top there with the spikes you had to get over, and like a wall bounce. You'd expect like boing, 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 boing. Whereas it felt here a bit like boing, 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 or boing, boing, boing. Like it was like a real struggle, and like a lot of this space up here never even got used. It felt like it was designed for a bigger jump than what you were getting. And also the other thing I wanted to bring up with the level design is like your levels are very holy. And what I mean is like, you know, where someone might have a level that looks a bit like this, and the flow is like that. You've got a level that looks a bit more like where there's like constant, like there is still like a flow, but there's like this constant feeling of like being able to slip down into other areas or like fall down and miss like 12 things, and you'll have an area that looks like this, and I'll be like, and I'll only be able to see like this area of space, and you'll like fall, and so I'll jump down here and I'll fall really fast because of your really high gravity as well, whiz past all of this, land here, and be like, oh shit, what was this, and what was this, and what was this, you know, like, and I was like, well, I don't reach them now because now I'm just down here, I guess. I guess I carry on this way, but I feel weird about having left all that other stuff around. Rectangle tool, no. That's my general feeling, I think. What are we talking about in the chat now? Oh, go to OGM. Okay. Um. Yeah, that's how I feel on the whole. That's with the gameplay stuff as well. The main, obviously, thing with all the other cutscene stuff as well, which would probably have hit a lot better if I was progressing the text more manually, which can be tricky, but yeah, I think I made that point. Anyway, beautiful game though. Looks super cool. Look forward to seeing how that comes along. Wait, how are we only down 7? Wasn't that the third game we played? Oh, we didn't delete Clockmaker. There we go. Save the bunnies from Smirnoff 100. I'll hate this. I mean, I hope not. Why would you submit something I'll hate? By the way, I heard a noise earlier when I was saying something. I don't know if someone came in and dumped a bunch of subs or something. No, maybe they didn't. I don't know. It doesn't say anyone gifted a bunch, but it sounded like I heard like a when I was doing something, and I'm like, did I miss something? Because now I wanted to go back to it, but I don't see it anywhere. Maybe I didn't miss anything. But if anyone did a thing where they donated a thing or they did a thing, thank you very much. I'm sorry I missed it. I don't think I did. Best of luck with it, dude. I don't say it looks beautiful. Like you've obviously poured loads of time into it. So why will I hate this? That was the only description I got from this. Save the bunnies. We've got a man looking at the moon, where all the bunnies live. There are some very tiling trees, sponsored by Mixels. Oh, right, I see. You've got, like, intentionally badly scaled pixel art. You know, it's actually not that bad on this screen, all things considered. Not off resolution movement, but it's alright. I quite like that effect, we're hovering over those. Shoot something stupid in the near future, move, space, okay. Can I full screen this? Oh, if I do it breaks the game. Maybe it's fine if I do it from the menu. Yeah. Capture. There we go. It's probably called, you know, the lighting engine or whatever, right? I mean, if this was supposed to make me mad because of all the mixels, it's actually not that bad. It's pretty bad, but it's not. I've seen worse. And like rotating weapons is like one of the cases where it's like, in this way, it kind of works. Why are we? Oh, I thought we were meant to be saving the bunnies. Oh, are they like demons? So we kill them and then their ghosts are free. No, thank Halsey for gifting our sub. Congrats, it's a trash can. I can actually put new emotes up now. I should put a bunch more up. Why is it getting dark? I can't see. Does the screen need to shake with every arrow I shoot? Maybe when it lands. This is a bit extreme. This is kind of like Among Us lights out. Oh. Yeah, the blood circles coming out don't match the style really at all, but continue. Like, you could very easily fix, like, the few mixel issues that exist here and actually make this super consistent looking. Like, I'd be okay with, like, leave the bow thing in. If anything, you want to turn your resolution up so it mixels even more smoothly. Because at least when it, like, lines up, it is actually the right size. I mean, in what world is like 1 AM that much darker than 11 PM? Some deep summer. I'm guessing this is my job, right? Just murder all these demon rabbits? The music. Do they like do some sort of charge thing when they get close? No, they just... Oh, we actually have to move into these? God damn. What does that do? What does this do? Does it do anything? Is this some thing that's building up over time? We must protect this weird blue thing! Because that's what I've decided we have to do. Oh, press E. Off-brand con... Oh, okay. Oh, is it because rabbits do sex lots? This is a weird shift in theme. And then non-chewy steak. I can't see. No, it doesn't feel like a net gain. Weird fonts. Every now and again I shoot into 3. Kind of distracted by the weird names things have. I didn't really read what they were doing. Okay, I get it. It's a little bit unclear, but not too bad if you're meant to just sort of discover how you're meant to play it. It's just sort of ranked me at the end, but it's like, okay, is there a reason I need to do better? Is there a reason I should do worse? Like, obviously not a reason to do worse, but you know what I mean? Like, is Murderer still a pass? You know, I guess I lived through it. Wasn't really clear if I was working towards some sort of goal, if it was just looping and it's like to see how good a score you can get, because it was like day 2, so I'm like, is this going somewhere, or is there more stuff gonna happen? I don't know. But general feel of it was alright. It just didn't really feel like it was going anywhere or had any kind of like meaning or point. It was weird. It took me a while to work out how to pick up the power-ups. I know you do say like press space like in the thing at the beginning, but probably makes more sense if you just walk into them. Like, there's no reason to have to put an extra bit of friction in between there, right? You can just walk into the thing. If you're close enough to pick it up, just pick it up, right? Generally, I like it though. Come out like, oh, you'll hate this, and like, oh, it's sponsored by Mixels or whatever. The mixeling issues weren't that bad, and the ones that existed, that were bad, were easily fixable just by picking either a better font or just not doing them. You know, the ones that are trickier, like the bow, I think you were fine having that be how it be. And I liked the particle effects and stuff were good. The blood was weird because it shot out blood of a like a weird high resolution circle that didn't mix with the style. But generally speaking, it was alright. I did not hate it. Thanks for that one, Smirnoff. Keep on keeping on. I guess some people would disagree with me, but I didn't really like having a screen shake on every time I fired the bow. I get it for on landing, it's good feedback that you've hit a thing and so on. But it seemed unnecessary, like, am I firing the bow with such force and strength that makes the whole world I don't know. It's just a bow, right? Yeah, I don't know, some people will be like, yes, you do want that. So I don't know, take that however you want it. Little Pirate Adventure W from Bork is up next. This game was very pretty. And it's an LD game. Oh, did we rate the other LD game that got played? What? Death is in the Air? I think we did. Hope we did. Open world adventure. Oh my god, what was all these long games people... Last minute attempt for Lundari 47. I joined Sunday evening. Failed my attempt to do a 5-hour comp and continue the next day for the jam. I mean, no. Oh no, I failed to make a game in 5 hours. You probably did fine. Little Pirate Adventure. There's this cute little pirate ship doing a little cute little bouncy squashy thing. Controller support. That looks like a stamp. Like someone's like stamp like a controller approved. In by Bork Ragnar, it's a little bit inconsistent. Here you got this like cute thing here with this like cute curly text and cute like curly lines everywhere. And then down here is like a sharp sans serif font. And also, one's got a big stroke on it, and then the other one doesn't. And it's the same here. And this is an entirely different font. I didn't struggle with, well, I did struggle with why I was doing it. But it was just like shoot the things. But, and it felt like there was going to be more. It was like there was a time thing, and I was like, well, is this going somewhere? And maybe it isn't planned, but it just, I don't know, it was weird. But yeah, there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. Oh, Pirate Adventure, right. What is this game? Instructions. When this box appears, press space on... What? When that box? Okay. Trader will trade. Cannoneer will... So everything is bad except the trader. A shark will eat your food. Okay, not sure I understand, but we're gonna go for it. Cute. That's the same rate. Flowers. Cheese. I don't know. Cheese for 7 money. Where can we get flowers? Well, they also do flowers for cheats at a better rate. Cheats for 10? 10? We're out of food soon. I found a cheese. Oh, it's way cheaper food rations. Wait, that's a simple trade. You can just buy a bunch of food rations and go sell them at the place that's bought them for 2, right? Can I fit through the middle of it? No! No, get off my cheese! Get off my hull! This is not a very safe route. Ugh. Look at my capitalist genius. What's this? So look, I found... Oh, 50?! That's more than I've ever seen in my life. Buy big. Oh, hype for this. Hype for this trade. Six Bierenberg. Wait, where's the trader gone? Go back here. Alicia, was it? With the Sagat flip on the F. Buy my food. There's somewhere that bought... Oh, actually, I'll sell the cheese here as well while we... Wait, do I have to go back out and in? Okay. You kind of have to go out and in to be able to trigger them again. Alright. So much for my cute little trade route of like, ooh, buy food 1 for 1, and then sell it 1 for 2. Look at me and my little trade route. Oh yeah, I found 6 beer in a barrel and sold it for 500. Man, just sailing around finding stuff is the real game, right? Do I need some sort of treasure map? Whoa, I forgot what that said. 10 cheese. Don't want to sell too much food. I'm gonna actually need it. Just keep moving. Can't hurt you if you just keep moving. I see. I see. Hey, I don't think that's a good exchange rate, is it? Wait. Hold up. Oh no, you buy flowers, 1 for 8. We'll buy them right here, 1 for 6. Trader scumbag. That's expensive food. You can find me some more Bierenberg.
I like how big the numbers are, by the way. It's nice and readable and clear. It's good. Everything about it in general is quite easy to read. Like visually and the text. Oh, crap. I thought that was selling. Never mind. Wasted some money on cheese. Did probably a terrible rate. Found some more cheese. Where can we sell cheese? Flowers for cheese. I think flowers for cheese is good, right? I might just be losing loads of money on this deal. Where's a good place to sell cheese? 7. Oh, they're gonna come steal my cheese. It's nice for the pirates to let you know what they're gonna take from you. Flowers cost 7. I can sell the cheese for any more than 7. That'd be cool. I like the music as well. That's like our end game island, right? Trade with Dan. I've never found anywhere I can buy Beerenburg yet. Lots of places to sell it for way too much money. Super, yes, that is very lucky. 10 Beerenburg. Where can we, was it? It's up to 60 there. Does it change? No. Was it 75? Was that the best price? Good, but that takes forever. Like, obviously there's a very clear route to just making infinite money, but the key in this game is not finding how to make money. Or these kind of games, not finding out. Ah, there we go. It's finding out how to make it the fastest. So it's this trader we want to bring beer to, who hangs out by the pirate that steals beer, coincidentally enough. Why can I sell? Why can I offload this cheese for good value? Is the one that sells it for 7 the only place? Well, how much cheese do I need for the end game map? Go away, go away. You can't have my flowers, they're mine. Wait, what's that? Does that just kill me? Ooh, you can buy beer for 34. That's the hype. Also sell these flowers. Cliche pirate. Alright, they just steal money. It's not much, sad face. This stuff will do. Where's my trader friend? Come here, come here. Oh, have I got a deal for you, my friend? See, now we're cooking with gas. That's what this kind of game's about. Alright, how much do I need for the map? This is sick. Like, there's not much to it, really, when you think about it, but it's a rewarding little loop. Oh, it is there. I wanted to go, right? It's pleasant, fun little loot. 2,500 food. So you can't actually exchange money for it. You actually have to exchange a thing. But 100 beer might be the way to go. We found, look, I think the beer exchange is the most valuable. We just need 100, right? We can afford that, right? And it was right there. It's 3. Oh god, I'm scared I was just going to instantly lose the treasure map. Treasure map! I did it! I found famous treasure! To chill out, but there are no more objectives. I dig it! That was sick! You made that in how long? 5 hours plus a day and 5 hours? So you're talking like, I don't know, 12... Somewhere between like 12 and 17 hours, right? Nailed it. It was really fun. It was good. Like, it was simple. Nothing was really a threat. You were always going to make it eventually, but it was fun and rewarding to be just to find like, oh, if I sell this here, that'll get me more. And oh, if I do this, this is even more. And like the scaling rewards were quite nice of going from just like, oh, I'm selling like 10 food for 20, buying 10 food for 10 and selling 10 food for 20, making a little bit of money was a nice little thing. And then just like, wait a minute, beer? It felt a little bit like, yeah, finding just random stuff was a bit broken good. Yeah, but it didn't matter. Yeah, cool. I didn't bother thinking about that because I was just like, well, we get a treasure map and we win, so I just did the one that I knew I could afford without thinking too hard about it. What was the beer called again? It had a like German name or something. I can't even remember. But it was good. Way to become a pirate. Wait, what? Oh. I thought there was this feature, possible future improvements. I was like, what secret quest did I miss? Become a pirate myself. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, if it's simple. Don't lose what's making this fun, which is Beerenberg, that was it. Don't lose what's making this fun, which is its intrinsic simplicity. I'm overusing the word intrinsic nowadays. Simplicity. Nothing intrinsic about it, whatever. You know what I mean. Yeah, I had a great time. I mean, I finished it. I probably shouldn't have done. We're spending too much time on these games. But, I loved it. The art was great and really consistent, really nice. Not quite 5, but like, I don't know, pretty up there. Like, there was something weird and consistent with the text, I think. You could probably have picked better fonts. Like, this font was cool. Like, I don't know, it's like a little tricky to read, but something along that vein might have been good for the text box. I don't know, actually. This looked alright in the game, maybe because the colors matched and so on. Like, this looked a little weak, but I did like your big bold text on the numbers. That was it worked for whatever that font was, and it was good. I think it was mostly the title screen where it looked a little bit weird. Some interactions are a little tricky. Like, say you had to, like, if you came out of a menu, you'd have to go out and then back in, like, to collide with it again to trigger the thing where you could press space, which is a little weird. I think like the super lucky barrels are a bit much. Probably not that necessary. Just finding little things in them is nice now and again as a way to mix things up and just be like, oh, it's worth, you know, just checking out what's in this barrel. But it did feel a bit busted good. Like I didn't have to think about anything to find something amazing in barrel, or just like run into the barrel. Oh, I have 1,000,000 florins. You know, it was that wasn't incredible. But generally speaking, this is sick. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. Stuck in a loop, kinda. Kinda. It's a weak link to the theme, but honestly, I prefer things that are weak link to the themes, but then are just really good games, than games that are like really strong links to the theme, but as a result aren't very good. Audio, I really like the music a lot. Could it probably like probably rate? I like that the music was chill and got out of the way. There weren't really any other sound effects, so I guess I didn't really need them. Humor, a little, I guess. It's a weird one. Mood, very much. I say it was chill. It was nice, and it's like you won the game. Now just chill out and keep playing if you want, because it knows that the loop is just like intrinsically satisfying. Yeah, loved it. It was really good. Jill, thanks for submitting to the stream. Oh, it's nice and chill. More games like that. What's up next? GM48. Oh, I forgot that just happened. I only realized it the other day when I was in the GM Discord, and they were just like, "It's GM48 this week." And I was like, "Oh, it is." And then I saw, "Oh, this was posted like last Friday." The Bling Bling Pumpkin Harvest Festival. It's time for the annual pumpkin competition. We have to grow the best pumpkin, and you'll do anything to win. Try and match your pumpkin for the target of the day. Be sure to be better than the other competitors made for the GM48 game jam in 48 hours. It's Chigadoot. I don't know what it is. I just keep using the word intrinsically way too much. It's just the right word in a lot of circumstances. Like, it's usually better than how I would have used, like, inherently, or I don't know, some other word that means similar to intrinsic. Esoteric, and yeah, I use that one a lot as well. Who made this one? Birthday Worm. Bling bling. I like this style. GM48 is a sick website. I wish I had the time and will to take part in GM48 more often. Want a little team? Was there a theme? Was the theme Watch Them Grow here? It's a weird theme. I don't like the implications of Watch Them. Just in terms of the theme, I would prefer growth. Growth is a good theme. And could easily, like, subsume this theme, right? Bonte Avant presents. Oh, I have to press space, okay. Collaboration between these people. Can I full screen this? No. Moon, moon, moon. Birthday worm. Matteo. There we go. Like a weirdly intense ambience playing in the background, and everything is shaky. Day 1, target pumpkin. This. Match your pumpkin to this one to get a higher jury score. Match it, so it doesn't... Not too big either, right? Wait, wait, what? What do I do? We're going this way! It's cute animations. Yeah, I know what we're doing. Gotta get watering can. That's what everyone else is doing. And, what other thing? And then we go over here and get this that makes it like less flat. Oh, I see. Do we want it to be bigger? This is way too loud. On my screen, that is. Probably not loud enough for you guys. It showed me a thing, but I'm like, well, they've made theirs loads bigger, so I guess I need to make mine bigger. But the thing on the sign looks way smaller. I kind of liked how. Oh no! Why could that happen? Can I ruin his? Uh-oh. What happens now? Uh-oh. Okay, let's pretend that never happened. That was... I don't even know what to say to that. Oh, there's like different kinds of... How do I know when I'm overwatering it though? And when does it end? Looks a bit like that. This is always massive though. It was the pig who got angry with me for messing up this guy as well, not the green guy. Is that only if I get caught? Talk to the jury to get your score. Okay. Oh, I see. Nice. Oh, mother... Sure. Mr. Perfect. This is unbelievably cute. Wait, what was the tie? Oh, okay, super flat. Oh, we can color it as well. Seems like the key is to do whatever green guy does, and then screw up green guys while no one else is looking. Oh no, he's gone way too far. But do you want to just make it as big as possible as well? How does he get to keep doing that without breaking it? I'm worried I'm gonna burst it again. Ah, he caught me. That's fine. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He just thinks. But he looks nothing like it. Loser. But I don't, does this get new mechanic? Because that got a new mechanic that had like color and stuff, right? Excuse me. No, just colors. Oh, it's the same thing again. Yeah, I like it. I love its face, like that face. Just like when you get caught doing something consuming. Caught being an asshole and ruining other people's things. Becomes very unwholesome at that point, but also very funny. If I could rate it, I would, but I didn't do that. But it was really good. That was really fun. I loved the music. It was super chill. It was nice. Like the game was nice, and then the weird secret extra game was screwing up everyone else's thing. And then like the way they look at you, and it just like really goes really quiet and awkward, and just zooms in on you. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, the art style is great. I love it. I love it. It was super good. Yeah, thanks for that one. Nicely done. Is that all built in Spline or something? Oh, we got a Steam thing. Colourful Color. This is where we're past the point where I was going to stop. But then people bulldozed their way in. Thanks for submitting, it was very good. Activate a product. Vocal off for beta testing. Go away, Steam, everything. How big did that say it was? Like 20 meg? Yeah, man, it just feels mean though. Like the game felt so like wholesome and cute, and then just took a really dark turn. In a way that I found very funny and cool. But also just mean. And like kind of spiteful. It's just like, well, they're better at growing at me, so I have to just screw them over. Why is Twitch buffering so much? Might have probably me downloading this game. Yeah, I'm dropping frames.
We might have to put a veto on Steam keys.